Kasokoso n'ebirala. Ebitundu ebyo bantu bapimibwa already yonora erina okubeera nga bakompensatinga. So fera tulowooza nti Kobaane erya NEMA ne yonora obata compensating abantu baffe. Era ne batutegeeza nti tibagenda kugenda mu maaso na kumapinga oba kujja kusuubira nga bamenya nga tebannafuna kwebuuza okuva eri yonora. Era sisuubira nti basobola okuva ku bigambo ebyo kubanga idi yennyini wa NEMA kyatugambye. Era njagala okubeera nga nkakasa abantu baffe ab'omuki n'Awataka Kasokoso n'abalala awali awayita ekkubo nti temugenda kubeera nga mubenyebwa kubanga tulinda compensation yammwe ebaweebwe muveeyo mu birembe. Naye tukale tugamba nti waliwo ebitundu ebimu by'otakyasobola kubeera ng'oli claiminga nga wetland. Ebyo nabyo tukkaanyiza nti nga tuyita mu bukulembeze nga tuyita mu nnambika ya NEMA ey'etteeka erya NEMA Kawaira 27 tuteekemu obukiiko abantu beere involved. Ekisinza okubeera nga kitiisa abantu nti omuntu aveereyo wa NEMA n'ateeka X ku nnyumba yo. X yokojja ku nnyumba yo kikuleetera okubeera traumatized. Tulabye abantu bangi nga atandise okubeera nga yeegirako amabaati ku nnyumba. Omuntu najja nga yatandise okubeera nga yeegirako enzigi ku nnyumba. Ekintu ekyo kiba kya bulabe nnyo naye kibeera mu mbeera nti abantu bano tebategeezebwa. Okujja obusulo teka X nga tonnyonnyodde oyinza okuba nga ne X yeetegeeza nti gwe oli mu safe side tujja kukoma ku ggwe. Naye omuntu olwokuba nga alabe X ku nnyumba ye balandlords abaana batenanti bakyasasula amayumba ago balandlords abantu bataza okubeera nga badduka amayumba nga bantu bafuna ssente. So tubagambye ebintu ebina bisoke biyimirire obukulembeze bubeere nga buli involved n'abantu basomesebwe tubeere n'enkola ennambike era ekyo tuli basanyufu nti tukkaanyiza nakyo. Kaakati sina twetera okubeera nga tuyiwa omusaayi okuva ku bigambo bye twogeddeko awo ojja kulaba nga
integral part of NEMA and it has got roles to play within the law. So we have agreed that by 15th of July, this committee should be put in place. Early attempts flopped because we do not have the ED represented and it's the returning officer. Because myself I'm a member, all the mayors are members, the MPs are members, the executive director of KCCA is a member, all the technical staff, rather many of the technical staff are members. So who would convene this meeting, who would preside over the proceedings, and who would serve as the returning officer to conduct the elections? It should be the ED. And indeed, he recognized the fact that they have delayed to do this, and he has undertaken. Within this time, we have agreed upon by 15th of July to kick-start the processes, superintend over the elections, and have this committee constituted, and we kick-start all the actions that are enshrined in Section 28 of the Act. Other specific areas of agreement, they are in respect to the following. One, there are people in the corridors there are people who are in the corridors that have been gazetted or earmarked for road construction, like a Ginger Expressway. Those ones are largely in Nakawa area, Chinawataka, Kasokoso. And many of them are waiting compensation from UNIA. So we have agreed the ED is going to raise a communication with the KCCA and the UNRWA to establish the individual parties who are waiting for compensation, the affected persons, and therefore there shall be no eviction conducted in those corridors until that exercise is completed. The same applies to Lubigi channel, because there are people who are going to be, there are those who are compensated. It's a World Bank project. There are some individuals that were compensated by KCCA, and there are those who are yet to be compensated. So you can't tell who is who, and we have to do an exercise of evaluation to determine who has not been compensated and who has been compensated before any action is taken. And many of them are there. The other attendant issue, which has also caused the complications as far as evictions are concerned in Lubigi, is the fact that KCCA has got its own demarcation of that particular corridor. And the NEMA has also its own different demarcations, its own mapping. So we have agreed that we are going to do a harmonization exercise to get to understand the demarcations done by KCCA and those that have been done by NEMA. But going forward, there are certain areas where markings on people's houses, people were worried that the 21 days have started running, that any time the graders will be raising them down. No, we have agreed that no action is going to be taken because no restoration order has been issued against those people. And for those in the areas where they have issued restoration orders like Kawara, their petitions already made. Their councillors filed a petition with the ED here, and we have also given them another copy. So the ED has undertaken to constitute committees which are supposed to review the restoration orders in accordance with Section 130 of the NEMA Act and take appropriate decisions within the month of July. All the petitions that have been filed are going to be heard and disposed of within the month of July, and then one way or the other they will be decided and they will determine the next course of action. In the meantime, we are going to harmonize or coordinate all the processes, internal mechanisms that are required to be handled by KCCA and NEMA internally within KCCA and NEMA before any other action is taken. No. We agreed again we also undertook to, after constituting the committee, to organize outreach programs, to reach out to the various localities, to establish areas that are redeemable and those which are irredeemable. The ED considered that there are wetlands which are irredeemable. And it's a very, very unfortunate thing, but that's a fact, that there are areas which cannot be redeemed. And some were mentioned, like Lukwago playgrounds. For me, as the patron of KCCA, I would have loved NEMA to redeem Lukwago playgrounds, to raise down those structures. They are bring down. I wanted them to demolish Forest Mall. They should demolish Game. They demolish which other supermarket is there. I wanted them to demolish them. To bring it down in Munyonyo, part of Munyonyo. So there is a facility, golf course, hotel here, petrol stations, and what we wanted all that done. But he said, no, there are those which cannot be redeemed. And then we said, okay, if there are those that cannot be, how do we come up with a mechanism of establishing which one is redeemable and which one is irredeemable? Which formula do we follow? And it's the reason we agreed on engagements to be conducted within the month of July. We reach out to all these localities, including the areas of ghettos, because there are those which, like for example, from their mapping, they are indicating the whole of Uganda parish is within the corridor. That is totally unacceptable. There are so many people in that particular corridor. You can't erase down all those structures. You can't evict all of them. So we are going to conduct that exercise of reaching out to the communities, establish